Alexandra, welcome back to Edinburgh.
Thank you, Roddy.
And to the National Museums of Scotland.
Thank you very much.
And we're so thrilled that you've come to join us to share your thoughts on Asian art at this gathering of the Asian Scotland Institute. Our institute, which is working in partnership with the National Museums, is all about educating and inspiring tomorrow's leaders and increasing their understanding of Asia. And we believe, and I think you share that view, that one of the ways to understand a region and a culture is through the art. And I wondered if you could comment on that.
Of course, I've spent my whole career fulfilling that exact kind of mandate, that it is through culture and art that people from different parts of the world can better understand each other. Art is an essential bridge of understanding.
And you've been travelling extensively in Asia, I know recently. I think you told me you've been in Japan and South Korea and also in China.
Yeah.
And you do that as part of your role at the Guggenheim.
Yes.
Could you explain what that involves doing?
Sure. So I head up the Asian Art Initiative at the Guggenheim Museum. The Guggenheim is a museum of modern and contemporary art that was founded, as we know, in 1959 in New York City with the great fabulous modernist architecture by Frank Lloyd Wright.
Yes.
It was founded very much on a Eurocentric model of modern and contemporary art, following the lineage of abstraction through minimalism, through conceptual art, with our founding figure being, of course, Vasily Kandinsky, who in 1912, as we know, wrote the great manifesto, The Spiritual in Abstract Art. My mandate was to come in 2006 and establish an Asian art program that forces the museum and our history and our collections and our programming to deal with and to integrate the art and histories of modern and contemporary art from outside the European and American canon. And specifically, my area is East Asia. But the method and the approach that we bring has also encouraged the museum in very radical and I would say far-reaching ways to engage in what we call global arts.
I see. Well, and as you know, the museum here has a great program that will shortly be opening with its new Asian galleries, which you're going to see
very excited about
something of tomorrow. Could you give me an idea of the points we're going to touch on when a little bit later today we go to the auditorium and you talk to the people who come to hear you speak? What will be your themes?
Well, I think it's interesting that the theme I'm going to speak about tonight, it's actually a perfect example of what you said, that art, and in my case, philosophy, is a way of bridging cultures or making one culture and one people better aware of another. So an area of research that has occupied me for decades is the impact and the influence of Asian art and philosophy on the development of modern art in America.
Right.
By the way, you could do the same history in Europe, but it would be slightly different.
Yes.
I propose that America is a Pacific power. We have a West Coast that faces the Pacific. We have a history of immigration. And as you well know, Roddy, we also have a history of wars. What most Americans don't know is America has fought more wars in the Pacific theater since the mid-19th century than we have in the European theater. And as my great advisor at NYU said, great historian of Japanese art, war is a form of cultural contact. But it's just one form. Through the amazing collections in our great museums, Museum of Fine Arts Boston, Metropolitan Museum of Art, Cleveland, Seattle, San Francisco, LA, artists had an occasion to encounter the objects and the philosophies behind those objects in a way that impacted their own art making. Translations of religious texts, translations of literature, Tao Te Ching, the I Ching, figures like Thomas Merton I'll be speaking about tonight, the great Cistercian Trappist monk
Yep.
who was an early, I would say, kind of interreligionist and a great believer in Buddhist ideas and philosophies that he integrated into the Catholic worldview. All of these thinkers, their books and their texts profoundly influenced the development of modern art in America. And we usually think of modern art in America as being a derivative of Europe. And my talk tonight is going to radically upset that assumption.
Very exciting. Well, we're looking forward to that. And I know you're going to have an eager audience waiting to see you. And we mustn't forget, Mrs. Munroe, here you are back again.
Yes.
In your home country.
Yes, whenever I
Which
come
is
to Edinburgh, thanks to you, Roddy, I do feel some sort of atavistic stirrings in my soul.
There you go.
And it's a fantastic city, and it's a fantastic museum, and it's an honor to be here. Thank
God bless
you.
Well, thank you for coming. We look forward to hearing what you have to say.
Thank you very much.
Munroe, thanks so much.
Thank you.